Hi guys. Welcome back. Let's see if we can continue with this. So if you guys happen to hear some music in the background, it's December time. I'm not the one playing the music. But the person next door is definitely enjoying themselves. So I was like, if they're enjoying themselves, why not us? Why not us? So I'm gonna continue from where we left off. Tinashe was determined to find Makhantini, but he wasn't going to risk his safety to do so. He wanted to give the man the money, but the person he was dealing with made it clear that he wanted the money for nefarious reasons. Sometimes building trust takes time, but when it happens, it can put a stop to our spiritual struggle since it exists and impacts society. Tinashe realized that the man was merely trying to intimidate him by scaring him, but he wasn't going to back down. He walked over to the table where there were clearly the faces that introduced a minor to do drugs. They tried to get him involved, but he had more ambition than they did, and he refused to dance with the devil. Yo, guys, you should find a song by Immortal Technique called Dancing with the Devil. Tinashe handed down $200 to a woman sitting at the table and explained that he was looking for information on one of his friends and why it was so important to find him. What type of information are you seeking? She asked after collecting his money. I'm looking for one of my friends. His name is Makhantini. Have you heard or seen someone with such a name around here? Tinashe said softly. After he said this, the woman gave him a strange look, as if she was hiding something. She returned the money and said, I don't know anything. I've never heard of the name around here. Since you have been aided, please depart. We are rather busy and do not tolerate tardiness. As he walked away, sorry, let me just set up my time here. Okay. My time is important, so we gotta do this in 15 minutes. As he walked away, the man who had approached him earlier came around. By the time the man got to him, Tinashe was already in the car and he opened the window. The man said, give me a 200 and I'll tell you everything you need to know, including how souls die around here. Tinashe was upset when he heard this since he had been led to believe that something horrible had happened to his friend. He opened the car door and the man begged him, saying, I swear, if you give me the money, I'll purchase food, not drugs. Tinashe looked at the chaos and said, okay, as long as you supply critical information, I'll make sure we both benefit from this. Tinashe drove away, intending to impact the world. But he knew that those who seek life will not only change the world for themselves, but they'll continue the task that he had begun. When Tinashe heard Maneko's story, the conversation was open, and he realized that there was a tale there. Do you know Makhantini? He asked. Of course, I don't know him. How can you come to a bunch of drug users and ask if they know someone who appears to be dead? Maneko responded. Tinashe was promptly summoned, and he asked, if you don't know him, why are you in this car? Tinashe was trying to figure out why this was happening. What was going on, and why he was having problems with the man who had just welcomed himself in without a key. Why have you come knowing you are useless to me? near just down the road, after he had driven away from the spot where people were doing hardcore drugs and overdosing, Tinashe sat quietly, knowing that the man didn't have an answer and that he had to ask again. Maneko sat quietly as well, thinking that if Tinashe came looking for someone doing yaope, we see the drug now. It meant he cared, and when someone cares, it was conceivable that he would be willing to help Maneko get off the drug. Then Maneko responded, you probably don't know much about these streets, huh? I can tell by the car you are driving as well. If the individual you're looking for doesn't know the folks here, you might find a dead body. But if you want to help me get off this drug, I'll give you all the information you need. Oh, the dude was desperate. I'll deal with the information on the ground, but I will not stay there forever, Tinashe reasoned. Perhaps this is the way for mortals to bring about Advent's truth about what is going on there. Okay, I'm listening, Tinashe answered. Maneko realized he had Tinashe's attention, but it was much more important to realize the essence of life and how important this moment was to him. To think about it, it is within the realm of possibilities that mankind should not fear to change or demonstrate change, but rather to have certainty that souls can profit from all the change going around. So they also bring in new drugs and they pay you to test them, he added. So if we don't find your friend anywhere in this part of town, we have to find ways to further the support for those who are used to trying these drugs. And when they overdose, there's a chance that men and women who benefit somehow from all of this are the same individuals seeking to advance their killer lifestyle to street kids. He continues. Tinashe silently listened to all of these stories. It was discovered that the majority of drug dealers were aware of what was going on and were working to prevent it. I don't know about that. Even though they had come to understand each other's names, he still had one more question for Maneko. Why should I trust you out of this? Maneko was slow to respond since he suspected this was a test. He had to be careful with his words and said, look, you don't have to believe me. It's not like I deserve it or anything. The injustice done to me growing up drove me to the streets straight from childhood. I wanted to do the best for humanity and become an engineer, but drugs took my life away. And Nyaope stole my soul. I want a piece of it back, and I will not stop battling until I have it. Trust is earned rather than given, as I have learned. Tinashe was generally attracted to Maneko's remarks and thought it was worth taking a chance on him. They forged a partnership to make and deliver benefits to each other and those in need. Another chance was given to Maneko. Tinashe drove to the hotel and brought Maneko to his room where they talked, but Maneko had to take a bath anytime he was there. Yeah, you'd be smelling. Tinashe wrote down the laws and regulations they were expected to follow very seriously. If Tinashe trusted him to that extent, he only needed to be patient with him because Maneko said he wanted to stop, so his next move shouldn't be that difficult. Dr. Cho had identified in Tinashe a passion for mentorship to the point where they could talk about anything openly. Outside of their own town, both of them were aware of what was going on in town after they believed it was all over there to start off by repairing what was broken and figuring out how they could be useful. Was there ever a period when individuals had to go and change their way of thinking? Possibly. When individuals are told to move forward and collaborate towards a common objective, they do reach a point when it is nearly hard to remain uncertain. This was to save others, yet the instance between these two was unfinished business because they had to go through all the pains of having a father and a son relationship. Tinashe gave Maneko a rundown of what he knew about Makhantini with a solemn expression. Why do you want to find someone so badly? And why are there others out there not doing the same? He asked. Maneko was thinking about quitting everything for a better life. It was a revelation that he chased, only to realize that some of the humans he had held in his heart for so long were not playing well with him. He wondered if someone had to disappoint him in order for him to move on, but he didn't believe that was necessary. Such is the tale of Jesus Christ. When it was time to check out of the hotel, they both left, with Maneko changing and getting into another car. As they left the hotel after a quick 2-hour meeting, it was still only a plan. They used one of the lifts to get to the garage, and those who saw them together assumed Maneko was attempting to rob Tinashe. Nigga must have been dirty. Maneko had warned him that the biggest place where everyone knows someone was roughly a kilometer away when they drove out of the garage. Tinashe was determined to find Makhantini and placed his greatest efforts into it. There's a plethora of information to take in to find the truth, and to be fortunate enough to learn the possibilities of achieving certain goals while letting go of those that are not. Anytime it was possible to catch up and learn, the freedom is not to appear as if the opportunity was never provided, but rather to be realistic about one's aims and how to change them. In a wave of truth, wickedness falls and times change. And if we were granted a second opportunity, it should be in this case. Tinashe and Maneko headed straight and discovered a spot filled with all kinds of Africans, all of whom had been using the same substance, which was unfortunate. Tinashe parked far away and remained anonymous as Maneko continued and began asking how the men and women around knew this Makhantini person. When he asked about Makhantini's whereabouts, there was another woman there joking and laughing. Maneko was delighted that his first assignment had been made simpler because he knew her. As she was walking and saw him, as she had many people's attention drawn to her, she thought and remembered that Maneko had informed her that he was leaving drugs. That was a while back. And she remarked, "Oh, Maneko," she giggled mockingly. "I remember you saying that that coming here was for drug addicts." She giggled and even more others joined her. Maneko quickly rejected her excitement, not wanting to embarrass himself in front of others. They were not glad to see some of them managing to quit and start again. He took her aside and offered her $20. At first, when he gave her the money, she thought he wanted sex from her. Of course, it seemed like everyone else there thought that even that small amount could get somewhere with the ladies. Ooh. But he quickly stopped. He quickly stopped her from grabbing his hand and explained, "No, this money is not for that. Tell me if you know Makhantini. I have been seeking him." She swiftly replied, "Who is Makhantini? Because the only Makhantini I know was Mhlozi's brother." Okay, indicating that she had no knowledge about Makhantini. He asked her about this Mhlozi guy. She had claimed about Makhantini's brother. After all, they had so much to learn about what was actually happening on the streets they were walking on and working on. When someone is deliberately seeking solutions, they often go beyond. Maneko was outspoken. She brought him to Mhlozi. He asked Mhlozi to explain Makhantini. They found him sitting alone with injections pouring into him, which was distressing and distracting and a disgusting scene to see someone destroying their life without hesitation. When they approached him, before he could say anything, he just stood there staring at them. Since they were high, one would wonder if this is the way to live. But he told them, "What do you want? I need $20, $25 first." All kinds of Africans were there, including individuals who had come from good homes. Perhaps money had become too much for them. They decided to share it with the rest of the world. He started his demands and was serious about them. Something like this was always happening, and that's why he had gotten to the point where he didn't need anything they didn't need anything from each other except drugs. Maneko took $25 from his pocket, and the lady had shown him the lady that had shown him Mhlozi had left. So she had $20 and the other guy took $20. So we're gonna continue from there, guys. So if you like this one, definitely that is so cool. So I'm still like trying to get myself around this. So definitely you're gonna enjoy this. If you stay put, you're gonna definitely enjoy it. And there's more things that are coming. I hope so. So see you on the next one. I hope you tune in. Tell me what you think. Or you can share it with your friends. I don't know. Do whatever you think. But you're gonna definitely see me. I'm out. Juices.